It's Gunshine here, doing my first YouTube video here of the Glock 26. As you can see, it is completely safe. It is unloaded. Magazine is right here. Standard issue, 10 rounds. Hollow point. This is the chosen bullet for my home protection. Not too real, nothing to really show about it other than this is basically standard factory, no modification, as is. What you see is what you get. And I'm going to do just a basic video. I'll show you the easy function breakdown of the video itself, of the gun. Very easy to deal with, not too many issues. I can have this gun broken down from just a basic function cleaning. You can do a basic cleaning, even like this, you can get a lot accomplished. I can have this gun broken down in 30 seconds, okay? So here we go. Alright, maybe it was a little bit sooner than that, but give myself a window of time, so I'm not wasting anyone's time here. So pretty much, you can get this whole gun clean. Here's the frame. You can definitely get a good wipe down of this. It's slightly dirty. There's a few things on here that I don't like, but I'll get a cleaning, on this relatively soon, and I'll definitely show that video. Definitely help you guys out, and for you novices who are just looking to get a gun, looking to do something with it, or maybe this is your first time looking at YouTube. Glock is a very good gun. Okay, I have really nothing to say bad about it, and it's been great for me. I had a lot of reservations in a Glock. Wasn't too sure, but I wanted something small. Wanted something that I can definitely take with me if I had to go somewhere. And I wasn't familiar with the area. I definitely wanted to take something that wasn't advertising to the world, So that, and here's the spring. Okay, barrel spring, slide spring, plunger, whatever you want to call it. On my mind, this is my first video, so you gotta bear with me. All right. Here's the barrel, small. Okay. If you're looking to do distance shooting, you can do it with this gun, but I don't recommend it. I don't know if you're going to be effective. Although there is a YouTube personality that I owe a lot of my credit to. I wouldn't say credit for doing the video. I would say credit for just supporting another fellow sportsman and a person who's true to his art. Is Hickok 45. Great guy. I learned a lot from him, from his videos, his commentaries on a lot of other people who are asking me questions. So a lot of the questions that I wanted to ask him, they're already answered. So the good news is I did my research on a lot of other guns, and what it comes down to, from what I learned with him, and as you can see, I have pretty decent sized hands. I'm not a basketball player, but I did play some basketball, but my hands are very robust, and it comes down to the gun that fits in your hand. And although the Glock 26 doesn't really have a spot for your pinky when you grab it, but it is quite comfortable. It is quite comfortable in the basic grip. Okay, it could be better, but it's very easy to handle, and you can definitely get yourself in a good position with this gun and move very quickly. It's very light, very user, and that was very important, is that finding a gun that is light, easy to change when you need a magazine, that you're not searching and looking and you're fumbling all around, something that you have right there. And the Glock 26 pretty much fit that category as a gun that can be easy to use, easy to take with you, and if you're ever in a situation of risk, and you're ever in a situation where you needed it and it's life-threatening, good gun choice right here. So I'm just going to get it back together. As you can see, here's the slide. This is the very easy to get, take care of, not nothing to it. Very simple. All right, goes in like so. Okay, boom. Very easy. There's a basic indentation on the slide that it just goes into, and it pretty much falls into place. So it's ready to go. This is it. All I need to do is mate this to the frame, and you got your gun. So very simple, very easy. Sometimes it likes to be a pain in the ass, but you gotta do it, you know. There you go. And it's in. And it functions. How you know? Well, you better know, because there's really someone like me who's kind of a handy person. If I screw this up, I shouldn't own a gun. So if I can do it, so can you. So Glock 26, very simple. We are loaded. Okay. Now, one quick thing I want to show you, although this is not recommended, I'm not doing this to prove a point, but on your ejector, which is on the side of the gun right here, I'm going to point it right to you. Okay. The slide is back. The trigger is back, so I couldn't fire this gun if I wanted to. Okay. But one clue that I found, a trick, is that if you look at the gun, okay, the ejector, alright, isn't protruding. Alright, it would kind of protrude out a little bit. That would show the gun is locked and loaded. Okay? So now that it's not, so I'll pull it out for safety. And I'll enter the gun safe. So we are clear. Okay? There you are. Clear gun. So one thing, that there are clues as to handling the gun that you want to be aware of is look for the ejector. Alright? That kind of protrudes out a little bit, you know, when there's a bullet inside. So that gives you an idea that the gun is loaded. Even though the gun magazine, this is loaded too. All I have to do is just pull the slide, and there's a bullet in the chamber. So remember, just because this magazine is in doesn't mean it's not loaded. It is loaded. This is loaded. Alright? My gun, technically, is loaded. Alright? Just because it's not, you know, has a bullet in the chamber, it doesn't mean anything. You either have a magazine in or you don't. So that's that. And very simple. Alright, kind of give a perception of the size here a little bit. It's not all that big. Okay? The gun from at the most, the rearmost part of the gun to the barrel is just a little over 6 inches. Okay? Just a little over 6 inches. This little guy packs a punch. I mean, for its size, that I find the 9mm to be very easily handleable, very easily controllable, easily. There is the Glock 28, which is a 380. So if you want something a little bit more like a, kind of like along the lines of a 22, something a little bit not as punchy as a 9mm, but it's just as effective, the Glock 28 380 is your size. If you want something and you like the SIG rounds, Glock 32, subcompact, but that is a very snappy gun. I've heard a lot of, because it's a 357 SIG round, it is a very punchy gun. My friend has a Glock 27, which is the 40 caliber. That is a very snappy gun. It's kind of like a motorcycle, right? Or like crotch rocket, you know? It's a light frame, but got a great engine, you know? bang, it goes. But you can have the most snappy gun, but yet it's not snappy. It's all in how you hold it. It's all in everything that you hold the gun. All right. I'm not saying you grab the gun to the point of discomfort. I like to just make sure I like to hold it. And one thing I found is that this little piece right here on the end of the trigger guard, I like to hold that. I like to kind of get like a good stability. It adds a little bit more, a little more straight line stability. Okay, as you can see, I'm holding that area. It definitely gives me a good. Okay, it gives me a good. When I'm at the range, I have good control of the firearm in the range, and that's important too. If you want effective, you want accurate, placement, you want to get control of the gun as much as you can. But again, recoil's recoil, so you're gonna feel it, but it's nothing you can't handle, right? It's not like you're shooting a 44 Magnum, shooting a 45, shooting a 50 caliber, whatever the case may be, whatever your glory is. But again, the more you shoot something, the more you get used to it, and it's like second nature. So for all you first timers out there, and you're just starting to shop for a gun, I have an idea. Glock 26, very reliable. One thing to keep in mind though is that this gun will fire dirty, will fire wet. I mean, you can drop it in a litter box, pick it up, it's gonna fire. You can drop it down the sink, drop it in the pool, you drop it anywhere, the gun is gonna fire. And one thing about Gaston Glock, who actually is the Glock manufacturer, he did a great job in making this gun. Okay, I mean, this gun is used in virtually every worldwide, military, civilian use, federal use, civic use with the police departments. Everyone has a Glock, and they all say the same thing: the most reliable. Okay, so if you're questioning yourself and you're not too sure, go to the gun range and rent a few guns. It doesn't hurt to get an idea of what you're looking for. But if you want pure reliability, you want the Honda Civic and the Toyota Camry or whatever, Toyota and Honda, this is it. This is your Toyota Honda right here. You can't go wrong with them. So there's really not much more to say about it. It's one of my favorites, and just stay tuned. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you find it to be helpful. If it's not, well, do bear with me, and I apologize. It is my first video. So have a wonderful evening, and we will stay tuned. Gunshine State checking out.